Hello and welcome back to your free online lessons with Uke N Learn and me, Sarah Spade, also known as the Ukulele Lady. Today we're in lesson number 2, and what I'd like to show you, now that you have some of the very first basics going on and you can move around a few chords a little bit and play a few notes, one of the first questions that people ask me when they've started to play the ukulele for a little while is, what rhythm should I play with my right hand? How do I know which rhythm to play with which song? How can I play a different rhythm for this song than I do for that song? This little video is going to show you some beginner's strumming patterns, just 1-bar strumming patterns using crotchets and quavers. That's whole beats and half beats. So one of the first things I'd like to show you then is just some note values on this simple sheet here. You may have seen notation before on staff paper. Perhaps if you had a piano teacher at school, you would have seen some of these dots on the page. And I'm just going to introduce you to the idea of a bar of music and also the idea of crotchets and quavers. So 1 bar of music is 4 beats in this case. So it would sound something like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So you're counting in 4s all the time. And the first one has the accent, so it's slightly louder. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Most pop music does this, 4 beats. You can get 3s and 6s or 7s or whatever, but mostly you're getting 4s. And you need to get used to the idea of counting in 4s like that. One of the first things you need to recognise is the pulse in the music, which is that 1, 2, 3, 4 beat. And to play the pulse, you would play crotchets like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to use a kind of tea party analogy to practice these, and you're going to use the word tea like this: T, 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 T. So I'd like you to clap that with me. Ready, go. T, 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 T. So whenever you see this kind of note, the crotchet, that's what I'd like you to clap. Try that with me again, clapping and saying the word T. 1, 2, ready, go. T, 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 T. Now this could go on repeat. Let's try it on repeat. Ready, go. T, 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 T. And on it goes. 4 beats in every bar. T, 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 T. The next note to get used to is the quaver, and the quaver is half a beat. For these we're going to use the word coffee, 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 giving you a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, as opposed to the 1, 2, 3, 4 that you get with the crotchets. Let's try clapping and saying the coffee now. 1, 2, ready, go. Coffee, 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 coffee. Let's put that on repeat. Ready, go. Coffee, 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 coffee. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now what we can start to do now is mix these up a little bit. So you could, for example, start with your crotchets and end with quavers. And that would go like this: tea, tea, coffee, coffee. Let's try that, clapping and saying. 1, 2, ready, go. Tea, tea, coffee, coffee. Great. Let's try it the other way. Let's do coffee, coffee, tea, tea. Ready, go. Coffee, coffee, tea, tea. Let's try another one. Let's go coffee, tea, coffee, tea. Ready, clap. Coffee, tea, coffee, tea. Let's reverse that. We'll go tea, coffee, tea, coffee. Try that. Ready, go. Tea, coffee, tea, coffee. And one thing I didn't talk about was, what is the definition of a rhythm? Well, a rhythm is something with different note lengths that makes a pattern, whereas the pulse is always the same. So the pulse or the beat would be going like this, whereas a rhythm, which I could do over the top with my voice, would have different note lengths. So I could go da 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 da. So my voice was doing the rhythm and my hand was doing the pulse. So that's your crotchets and quavers. And we're now going to look at how this affects our strumming patterns and how we can do that. So next I have this sheet here which is called Beginner's Strumming Patterns. They're actually 1 bar strumming patterns. And I've written here for muted strings, because the way that we're going to practice them is, what I'd like you to do is take your left hand, place the fingers on the ukulele, but only very, very lightly, like so. Don't squeeze, just lightly like that. And then when it comes to strumming the strings, you'll get dead notes. If you press a bit too hard, you'll start to get some actual pitched notes. I don't want any pitch there. I just want dead notes. And that's what I call a percussive. Also, we're going to change our technique slightly. Everything we did in the last lesson, we used a thumb brush strum like this. And we did that where the neck meets the body and bringing the right hand fingers around the shoulder of the ukulele. But now we're going to change to the index finger and using the back of the index finger with just a light, smooth action with your right hand. And that means we can do downs and ups, like so. So that's how we're going to practice when we practice these rhythms here. And rhythm number 1 then, as you can see, is the pulse. Crotchet, 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 crotchet. In other words, T, 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 T. This time the stems are going down rather than up, but it's the same principle. And what we have here, just to introduce you to the idea of a stave of music, is there's 5 lines going across the page. They have nothing whatsoever to do with your strings, so don't go there. They are 5 lines on which we can write notes on the line or in between the lines. And that tells us what note to play, but we're not going there at the moment. We're just doing strumming patterns, so don't worry about that. We have a treble clef at the beginning as well, this little squiggle. It used to be a G, so if you look at the shape of it, it's a bit like a fancy G shape, and it used to be called a G clef. And actually the little curve of the G just here, that curls around the line where G is written, hence the name G clef. But it turned later on into being called the treble clef. You then have 4/4 written in. This is called a time signature. All you need to worry about for the moment is the top number, and that's telling you that there's 4 beats in a bar. You then have bar lines. So each time you get one of these, it's a bar line. And for this exercise, within 1 bar, we've got repeat dots at the beginning and the end, those 2 little dots that you can see here and here. They're repeat dots, and they just mean keep going around the same bar again and again for practice. Also underneath, just to be helpful, I've written a count, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and you can see that the crotchet comes above the 1, 2, 3 and 4. And then finally, there's an instruction above as well. When you see this little symbol that looks like that, this little, I think it looks like a staple or a table or something from the side, that's a down strum instruction. So that means to strum down with your finger. When you see the little V sign, that's for an up strum. For the first rhythm then, you will be strumming down, 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 down with your finger nice and light. Let's try it. 1, 2, ready, go. Down, 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 down. Repeat. 2, 3, 4. Repeat. 1, 2, 3. I wonder if I can mute with my left hand and hold the sheet. Oh, I can. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Down, 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 down. Repeat. Repeat. Next one along then has crotchets. So that one's going to go coffee, 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 coffee. But every other is an up strum. So that's going to look like this. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's try that one. 1, 2, ready, go. Down, up, down, up, down, up. And repeat. And repeat. One more. And now we have one that mixes things up a little bit. Tea, coffee, tea, coffee. Down, down, up, down, down, up. But guess what? After you've done a down, your hand is still going to come up, but you're just going to miss the strings. Let's try it. 1, 2, ready, go. Tea, coffee, tea, coffee. Repeat. Repeat. One more. Tea, coffee, tea, coffee. Next one sounds something like this. Tea, tea, coffee, coffee. Down, 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 up, down, up. Try that one with me. Try that one with me. Tea, tea, coffee, coffee. Looks like this. Tea, coffee, coffee, coffee. See if you can strum that one. Muted strings. Ready, go. Down, down, up, down, up, down, up. Down, down, up, down, up, down, up. Repeat. Down, up, down, up, down, up. Down, down, up, down, up, down, up. Next one. Tea, tea, coffee, tea. With a down, 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 up, down. So thanks everybody for joining in with me there. We did up to rhythm 6. I'm going to add the sheet on this page for you as well somewhere, probably down there somewhere. And you can click on that, download the sheet. See if you can practice up to rhythm 6. Remember, you need to be using a metronome to do this with. It's really important to have that steady tempo. And if you need to take it slower, then go slower. But keep it even and steady, same tempo all the time. If you don't have a physical metronome, just put the word into Google, metronome, and you'll find plenty of options online to give you that click beat. Or you can get an app for your phone and have an electronic metronome. Have fun, enjoy, and I will see you next time. And we'll look at putting some of these right hand rhythms together with the left hand chord changes. Enjoy, see you soon, bye.